I will say it's not as smooth as I was expecting. I don't know if this was worth it for me. Well, hey there, Knotty Friends. Welcome back to the channel. If you are new here, hi, my name is Chris, aka Naughty Bear. I'm an amigurumi designer, crocheter, and crafty person here on YouTube, and I put out new videos every single week, so if any of that sounds good to you, be sure to stick around. This week I thought it'd be fun to keep the ball rolling with the reviews. Last week we did a yarn haul review from Hobie, and that was a lot of fun. You seemed to really enjoy it. So this week I thought we'd keep it on theme. And I've actually never used a crochet kit before, and it just so happens that Woobles is doing a crossover with Minecraft, and if you don't know, I absolutely love Minecraft, so this is like a match made in heaven for me. So I thought it'd be fun to just check out their website, see what cute characters they got going on over there, order something, and then make it together. I'll take you along with me during the process, give you some of my thoughts, and review it a little bit with all of you. Hopefully that sounds good to you. I'm really excited for this one. They look really adorable. So grab a crafty project and a beverage, and let's get into the video. Alright, so as you can see, we are on the Woobles website here, and they are showcasing some of these adorable Minecraft characters. And right at the bat, one of my favorite things about these are the little pixelated amigurumi eyes. I wish that was something you could buy on its own because they're super adorable. The other thing I love about this is the yarn. It has like a color changing to it that almost makes it look like pixels, which is so perfect for Minecraft, obviously, because it's all pixel based. So I think that matches so perfect here. I've also never used, I think it's called the t-shirt yarn. I'll be sure to put something here if I'm wrong, but it's like a tube yarn. I've actually never used it before. I've heard it's actually really good for beginners. So I'm also really excited just to try that out. Real quick, before we jump over to the Woobles website, I just want to say a couple things. One, this video is not sponsored in any way by Woobles or anyone else. This is just 100% me going out there, spending my money on this crochet kit and giving you an honest review of it. Although I will say, if anyone wanted to sponsor me, you could reach out. I'm not going to say no. But for the purpose of today's video, we are unsponsored and just going in. I also just wanted to give a quick overview of the Woobles if you haven't heard of them. I know they are a pretty big company, especially in the amigurumi crochet world. But if you haven't heard of them, they make amigurumi crochet kits, which are basically kits that come with everything from the materials to the pattern, as well as how to crochet. So these are usually targeted at complete beginners. They're really offering how to crochet, and then you have like some cute little thing to show for it. You're not just paying for the materials or the tools or anything, you're also paying for the experience of like how to learn something. They have video tutorials and things that are tailored towards people who have never made anything. Their magic rings, for example, are already pre-made. So you don't have to worry about struggling to make a magic circle if you are new. I know they are difficult. And the Woobles kind of came to fame, if you will. I think it was 5 or 6 years ago now. They were on, not Dragon's Den, they were on Shark Tank. I believe they had already made like over $5 million by the time they went on that show. So they were already doing very well. And they did leave with a partnership with 2 of the people. I can't remember who it is. I'm sure you can Google it. But that really launched them into other spaces. Before that, I think they only had their original designs. They were known for, I think it's Pierre the Penguin or something. They had a bunch of those cute little designs. But that kind of launched them into a space where they could partner with other things like Minecraft and do a bunch of partnerships and collabs and things, which kind of elevated them even more. But a lot of people have experienced the Woobles as being like their first crochet project ever, the thing that brought them into crochet, which is really cool, and I can see why. Their amigurumi are really adorable. I don't know why it's taken me this long to get into them. I think I just happened to miss them. They were around when I started crochet. They must have been a couple years into business, but I just happened to never really see them until like a couple years ago maybe. But overall, they make adorable amigurumi kits that come with the hooks, the yarn, the instructions, everything you'll need to start your crochet project. And with things like this partnership stuff, it's kind of like a different way to bring even more people in, maybe more experienced people like myself who want the custom hooks or like accessories that they come with. But good for them. We love to see a small business win in the crochet space. With that said, let's actually take a look at their website here and see what they got going on. So here's the website, and as you can see, they are currently featuring the Minecraft. It's their newest partnership collab thing that they're doing. Very excited for it. Looking at the characters they have here, I love these little amigurumi pixel eyes. I wish we could just buy this on their own. I know it would be kind of hard to use them for different amigurumi. However, I just love the way they look. They fit perfectly here for Minecraft. The other thing I'm really loving is the yarn and the way it's changing colors to make it look like pixels, which is just, again, perfect for Minecraft with all the pixelated look. It looks so cute. I'm really obsessed with all of these. But enough talking, let's actually get to shopping and see what they got going on here. All right, let's go. Ooh, Jesus. Oh my God. What is that price for? Please, a bundle. Okay. All right, so the other thing I have to say here real quick, these prices are in Canadian. So if this seems extra shocking to you, just know you might have to do a little bit of conversion. However, for me, that was definitely a bit of a shock. Was not expecting that. I guess it's the bundle with everything, which we're going to talk about. Or it just looks like these four, which I think I could have swore there was more characters. But anyways, let's talk about the four that we have on screen here. So the first one we have is the Minecraft Bumblebee, which this one to me is the most simple. It is very cute. And I've actually, before this even happened, I was going to make a Minecraft Bumblebee for the movie release that happened recently, but I never got around to it. But this one's really cute. I love the eyes. It looks like the antenna also might be plastic as well, which is really cute. And I do wonder, I think with this one the feet would already be made because they're so tiny. I could be wrong, but I think details like that are pre-made. I don't know if I mentioned it before, but like the magic ring even is already done for this. So if you're a beginner, magic rings are a bit of a struggle for most people who are just starting. So they already get that out of the way, and they'll even add the stitch markers to it so you know where you have to do increases and things, which is really cute. So I think something like that already might be in there. Already might be made since it's so tiny. I could be wrong, but I think overall I probably wouldn't pick the bee for me, even though it is cute. Pretty much all of these are even cuter. Speaking of even cuter, we have the little llama, which is really adorable. A couple of videos ago in my AI to crochet video, we almost did a llama. It was very close. It was neck and neck with the otter that we ended up making. And this is really cute. Oh, I also should say they each get an accessory. So the bee comes with the flower, which actually probably is my favorite accessory. That's really cute. The llama comes with its little, I don't know what you would call it, but little clothing accessory, a saddle maybe, whatever it's called. I can't remember what they call it in the game. This one is really cute and definitely a contender for my favorite. Next up, we have the zombie, which I think this is actually probably my least favorite. I've never been the fan of the zombies before, honestly. It does look really adorable and I do like it. His accessory is essentially a smaller zombie. In the game, there are like regular size adult zombies and then there are like kid zombies that run around as well. They're terrifying and very fast and that looks like what they're doing here. I'm personally not too excited about the accessory being just a smaller version of it. I would have liked to have seen maybe something else, but I do think it is really cute. Last one, I think we have my favorite, which is the Ender Dragon. Out of all these, I love the amigurumi pixel eyes. These are my favorite. The design is really cute, and I think probably the most complicated, although the llama has some color changes that could be difficult, but I think this one is my favorite just looking at it off the bat. I will say the accessories may be a little bit boring. It's just the potion bottle down at the bottom. I'm not sure what the potion bottle really has to do with the Ender Dragon, but that just might be me because I love Minecraft. I probably would have wanted it to be the Ender Egg, which is the dragon egg you get after defeating the Ender Dragon, although maybe that was too boring, I don't know, but I think that would have been cuter in my opinion. However, that is adorable. The price is terrifying, but we'll get more into that. Let's see what else they got. It looks like they have a bunch of other bundles, so you can buy them individually, which is probably what we're gonna end up doing. I'm not buying that bundle that we just saw up there, but there's a bunch of stuff here that they weren't showing, so we'll just talk about them. You have the chicken jockey bundle, which if you've heard the meme from the Minecraft movie, which I haven't seen, it's not my vibe. I like to like be cozy and build things. I like to craft, obviously. I like to build things. That's what I use Minecraft for. But the chicken jockey is just one of those zombie kids that rides a chicken. I will say though, it is really adorable. I do like that a lot. We also have the classic creeper here, which is adorable as well. I'm not a huge fan of it. Although again, I really love the way that yarn color change happens. It makes it look like pixels. That's just like chef kiss. It works perfectly here. Next to it, you have a sword, which again, not 100% sure how that relates to the creeper, but that is a really cute little addition. And then it looks like we have two more. So we have the pig saddle up bundle, which is just the Minecraft pig. You can put a saddle on a Minecraft pig and ride it around. This is really adorable. A lot of these designs are very similar, but this one is super cute. I love those little eyes. I'm not going to get over it. And then what I think is the last one is the Warden, which is one of the bosses in the game. It's one of the newer Minecraft editions. They're always updating it. And this one's really cute. I've never been a fan of the Warden, but I really like the colors and I do really like this design. So that's also really adorable. There are a lot of really good choices here, honestly. These are super cute. Again, we have some prices here, which are kind of scaring me a little bit. However, they are on sale. So I'm just going to dig around here and see what the deal is with the different bundles and things, because it looks like there are some different options possibly. For example, if I click this, so this is the Ender Dragon one, And it looks like it comes with its own Ender Dragon crochet hook, which I really enjoy. That's very cool. Here's a picture of everything it comes with. So as you can see, stuffing, yarn, amigurumi eyes, even the step-by-step video instructions, which I'm hoping are just a link, but it looks like it could also be a CD, which is interesting. So it looks like that one's a little bit more expensive, which is always the way it goes. What I want is the most expensive. You can also just buy the accessories that they come with. Actually, I didn't notice what the Warden comes with the CD in the game. Again, kind of a strange pairing. I would have liked to have seen it one of the blue lanterns. Is it the end lamp? I can't remember what they call it, but it's like a blue lantern down there. I don't know why the disc. Kind of boring to me, to be honest. So from what I can tell, it looks like you can get every design on its own, or you can get the accessories on their own, or you can get them together. And there are also some bundles, which are very pricey. To be honest, everything here is pricey, and I know that's partially because they're collabing with another business, which they have to pay for the rights for and all that. There's a lot going on in there. Also, they come with like little, I don't know if you want to call it custom crochet hooks that match the bundle that you're getting anyway, which is cute as well. And I have to try and remember that you are paying for the experience of learning how to crochet with this too. It's not just the crochet amigurumi you're paying for or the materials. You're also paying for the video instructions and all things like that to teach you how to crochet. So I'm definitely going to keep that in mind. So I've been looking these over and thinking about which one I want to get. And honestly, I think I just have to go with the Ender Dragon. I don't think I'd appreciate any of these as much as I would with him. Of course, he is for some reason like the most expensive one. They're all $64, but for some reason he's $71. I guess because he's a little more complicated. I don't know. It doesn't seem like the chicken jockey or the llama or even the warden seem just on like the same level. Maybe because they knew he'd be the most popular. It's a little upsetting. However, I don't want to get something that I won't enjoy in the end. So we're just going to go ahead and add this to cart, and my wallet will have to pay for it later. Please like this video so I can afford to keep making these videos for you. All right, so we're going to check out here with our little guy here. So, I can't believe I'm about to pay almost $100 for a crochet amigurumi that's about this big, which I could probably make on my own, but it's I'm doing it for the plot. I'm doing it all for you, but also a little bit for me because it's really cute and I love Minecraft. Wow. Leave a comment in the below saying this was a mandatory video to my husband. It is a business expense. It is not a personal expense, and all of you wanted this and you made me do it. Thank you. All right, so that's done. We have bought our Woobles kit. I actually asked a bunch of you online what you thought of Woobles and different things, and a lot of you had different things to say. I'm excited to get it. A lot of you had positive experiences with it. I did ask how the crochet hook was, and a lot of you said it was like kind of like a knockoff of like a Clover Moore hook, which going into this, I'm not expecting to have the best hook ever, but I think it's really cute that it is designed to match whatever kit you get. Is really adorable. Probably one of the reasons why it costs a little bit more. Also, I was talking to Annie from Hooks and Healer on YouTube as well. A lot of you probably know her, and she was saying that she loves these kits as well, and that there was a Lord of the Rings one, which I did not need to hear. After seeing the price, I didn't need to hear that, and now it's one of those things where it's like constantly coming up in my advertising, and it is so cute, so expensive. So I won't be buying that anytime soon, but I wish I could because it is adorable. Maybe one day, if you like this style of video, definitely share it and like it, and if it gets enough views, maybe I can afford to buy that one as well for all of you and for myself, let's be honest, because it's really adorable. But I'm really excited for this one. I think it'll be good. I'll check back in with you all when we get our delivery. See you then. Guess what, everyone? We got our package. Yay! It finally came in the mail. I have some things I want to say about it. But real quick, first, it is Monday, and I just announced my first crochet pattern of the year. And this is Lucy the Goose. I just wanted to show her to you real quick. Look how adorable she is. She even comes in her work outfit, which is a Mountie police goose. And then we have her as herself. She has a little hat here, which is a bald eagle. Some say she fought and won a battle with a bald eagle. Really adorable. I'm very excited for this one. It actually releases the day this video comes out. So if you're interested, you can go grab this adorable little crochet pattern. I'm also working on a chenille one as well, because the pattern works for chenille versions if you are a chenille user. But definitely check out the link below if you're interested. You can see that version and all the different things about her, or make your own Lucy the Goose. Be sure to share it with me online. I love to see your creations. But anyways, I know you're not here for crochet patterns. You are here for crochet kits. And like I said, ours finally came today. Here it is. It is super cute, really adorable. I love the packaging. We're going to talk about all this in a second. I did want to talk about the delivery time and things like that. For the most part, it was pretty standard stuff. After I made my order, I got an email, just a little confirmation email, which is pretty standard. And then usually after you order something like this, you wait and you get like tracking information or something sent, like your order's on its way or things like that. But I actually never got another email from Woobles, surprisingly, after that one confirmation one, which thankfully in it had like a confirmation number. But after I think like 6 or 7 days of waiting for some kind of tracking info to appear, I kind of just gave up and I searched Woobles shipping or tracking info, and they have something on their website which uses their order number, which like I said was in the original email. So I did end up putting that in there, and it took me to a page with some tracking info. However, everything was just kind of grayed out and there was no updates or anything. Like I said, at this point it was 7 days in. So I did actually go online and just asked how long it usually takes, and most people said like a week or two. So I knew something was a little off. However, I said, you know what, maybe they're a little bit busy. I mean, these are all pre-packaged, so it's not like they're making anything. However, I kind of was like, let's give it a couple more days. I think I waited 3 more days and I looked back and it was still no updates or anything. I had no emails from them. However, this time when I went on that same tracking page, I actually noticed that there was a tracking number that I didn't see there before. I was able to use that tracking number on the delivery service that they use. And once I found that out, I could actually see that they were updating on that side, and it was actually being delivered that day, and it did come. So I think all in all, it was like 10 business days, which is totally adequate. That's not a bad amount of time. I just wish I had some updates, some emails, something, tracking information. It made it a little bit clearer that my package was indeed coming, because I was worried that it was not. However, as you can see, it did come. So let's talk about our Woobles kit. So here it is. It comes in this adorable little package. Each one is branded specifically to whatever character you get. And even the little things on the back that say what it gets are in the theme of Minecraft. So everything's like pixelated and stuff. On the back, it says you get the yarn, stuffing, step-by-step videos, yarn needle, pre-started pieces. Like I said, that's where they do the magic ring for you. Plastic eyes, amigurumi eyes, safety eyes, whatever you want to call them. A 4mm crochet hook, and online instructions as well, which is probably what I'll be using to do this. And then they just have a little bit of information about them, which is super cute. I love, again, they're using like the Minecraft font for this part here. As you know, I'm a graphic designer. I love branding, so I love when things are just branded perfectly. And so I think with that said, I think we're just going to open it up. I'm not going to start crocheting today. I'll probably start it tomorrow for you. Don't worry, it'll be all of 2 seconds. But I thought we could at least open it up and just take a look and see what's in here together. So drum roll, please. So we're opening it up, and the first thing in there, I can see some yarn here. Again, we're continuing with the cute Minecraft branding with this little creeper packaging that is so cute. Yarn is really soft. I'm very excited, like I said, to use this yarn. A little bit of stuffing here, which... oh, that's cute. It has a little sticker on it that says, it's what's inside that counts, which is really adorable. And then we have the crochet hook, which I think I'm pretty excited to use. I did ask, and people, like I said, were like, it's okay. I kind of just love that the crochet hook is like a Minecraft Ender Dragon crochet hook. I think that's pretty iconic, and I love the color purple. So I'm very excited just to even have this. I'll probably put it on display with the finished piece. Then we have the bulk of our yarn, which again, I love this like color change. I'm so excited to see how that works up to make like little pixels and things. I'm assuming the color changes happen really quickly. We also have, like I said, our magic ring that has been pre-made. Hopefully I'm showing that there. And it even has stitch markers in it to show you where the stitches are. I would have been obsessed if this had come with like some Minecraft specific stitch markers somehow, but it looks like they're just the standard ones. Then we have a little bit of pink yarn. Maybe that is for the potion bottle, although this looks like baby pink, and the potion bottle, I believe, was like a deep magenta. In this little package, I'm assuming we will have instructions as well as the safety eyes. The sticker, again, branded with a little ender dragon, super cute. So we have a card. Oh, I think those were the safety eyes. They weren't the safety eyes. Get it together, Jesus. They were the backers, so the safety eyes. So we have some more string in here. Oh, the safety eyes are much bigger than I was expecting. So maybe this Wooble will be a little bit bigger than I'm thinking in my head. We have a needle, which is a metal needle, and it actually feels really good. This is the type of needle I would use. So I'll probably be adding this to my collection, considering I lose them so often. And it looks like that's everything that comes in the package. I'm not gonna lie, it feels a little underwhelming considering how much I spent on it. Opening it up and just getting some yarn and a crochet hook and some safety eyes. I don't think I'll get over it. However, I have to remember that this is a collaboration. A lot of you said those are more expensive. This is definitely on the higher end of what they have to offer. You can get ones for much cheaper, especially if it's their original designs and things like that. So we're going to keep that in mind. All right, so that's everything that's in the package. I'm going to go work on some other stuff, and then I will check back in with you tomorrow when it is time to start our Ender Dragon. So it's the next day, and I've just been working away, but the sun is finally starting to try and come out, so let's take advantage of that while it lasts, which is not very long this spring. It has been very dark and cloudy. However, I have everything we need to get going. I've explained everything. I think we'll just jump into it and get started finally. So first things first, I am going to just type in the little code that they gave me here. So once you get to their website, you just search for the crochet pattern that you're looking for. It actually says intermediate, so that's interesting. I know I've been saying a lot that these are for beginners, but I guess this just proves the point that not all these are actually for beginners. Some of these are meant for more advanced crocheters, which is good to have variety. Also, let me apologize to the birds in my backyard. It's very stuffy, so I have the window open because it's nice out, but if they're very loud, I do apologize. Just take it as ambiance to the video. Most of this will be fast forward with some cute music anyways. So we're just going to type in the password that they gave us here. You can actually download the pattern, which I'm going to do as well. It just should be a step-by-step one. But I also want to look through the video tutorials just so I get the full experience. But thankfully, it looks like all the photos are actually of the Ender Dragon, which is nice. I had heard from some other people that they kind of mix in different amigurumis that are using the same technique and things, and that can be confusing to some people sometimes. Aside from that, I can see here you can actually switch between left or right-handed, which is kind of amazing. I've had so many people reach out to me, especially when I was doing my lives, because the camera is flipped. So a lot of people thought I was left-handed, and there are so many left-handed crocheters out there looking for like patterns and things. So the fact that you can actually switch it's a really huge plus if you're out there and you're looking for cute amigurumi patterns. Maybe, I'm assuming all of them can do this, but I would look into that a little bit more. I'm going to watch some of these videos, I guess, and I will come back to you in a second. So I'm going to watch some of these videos, see what they're about, and a lot of it looks like videos on just like general crochet knowledge, which obviously I'll already know, but I'm just going to watch them and just get a general idea of what they're about. So I just watched the overview and I'm already really impressed. It was actually someone holding the Ender Dragon and talking very specifically about that, the type of yarn. They even mentioned the fact that even though it's an intermediate pattern, they did say that you could be a beginner, not to worry, and they're going to walk you through it, which I thought was very interesting. So I'm pretty impressed overall. They talked about the variegated yarn and how it's dark and to use a lot of lighting. So all those things are definitely like a round of applause for me. The next one I gotta watch is how to hold a hook and yarn. I'll probably skip through that one a little bit. And then all the ones after that, it's like single crochet, how to increase, move the stitch marker. I will just browse through them again just so I can get a kind of idea what they're like, but obviously I don't need to watch those through. So I just watched a bunch of videos and it does end up changing from being the very specific yarn that you got to like more generic yarn colors and things like that. For example, the one I just watched, the first part was talking about using dark yarn, and then they said that the example would be in blue so you could see it better, but then it actually ended up being orange. None of that really matters, to be honest, because what they're actually doing is the same. It can maybe be a little confusing to a brand new beginner, but I totally get why they're doing this. It would take forever to do every single character pattern in its own yarn with its own tutorial, and I think this works just fine. And I think for most people this is not going to be an issue. As far as the actual instructions, they're very clear. They definitely take their time with you. They're very slow, which is nice when you're beginning than someone rushing through a stitch and just like being like, you just do this, and then they end up with a single crochet. They seem to really take their time, which is nice. So with that said, let's actually start crocheting a little bit in this crochet video. So I just did my first set of increases. This is what it looks like. It is a little holy for some reason. I think that might be just the starting point there, or the yarn possibly. I do really like that this yarn doesn't split. Although it's not as smooth on my hook as I thought it would be. It could just be the crochet hook. It doesn't feel like anything fancy. So I'm going to try my usual Addy swing hooks that I love to use for all my other crochet projects and see if that makes a difference for me. So I just finished the next round using this crochet hook, and I definitely noticed a difference. It slides much easier on the crochet hook. I will say it's not as smooth as I was expecting. I thought it would really glide through. There is still a little bit of drag, but it's definitely nothing to really complain about. It's just a little bit. You definitely notice it more on this hook. As cute as this is, look at the little ender dragons and things. This is adorable, and the little hearts are so cool. I'll definitely keep this on display or something, but I'm going to go forward with using this one. The only thing I'm not loving is the holes. I don't know. I'm using the recommended crochet hook and size, and I'm still getting those holes, which I'm assuming is not supposed to be there. I was thinking that this was more like tubular, which it is a tube yarn, but it's also very, you probably see it better if I do it on here. It's very like flat on one edge. Very thin. It's almost like giving like a ribbon yarn or like a shoelace yarn, which I thought it would be more tubular, but I guess it is. It's just like flattened out. I don't know if that's what's causing the holes. You can really see it when I put on like a white background, which once I put stuffing in this, I feel like that's gonna show through, which is upsetting. So I almost feel like I want to use a smaller hook possibly, or maybe it's my tension. I'm going to play around a little bit with it and see if I can fix this before going any further. So I ended up switching down to a 3.5mm crochet hook for the next round. And although there are still some holes there, it is much better than what it was before. So I think I'm going to go ahead and just undo what I've done so far and redo it in a 3.25. I understand that that's probably just to cater more to beginners, just so you don't have super tight stitches, but that's the way I like it. But I also have really tight tension, so I'm kind of surprised that using the 4mm that they suggested wasn't good enough. However, I'm just going to undo this and we will start again with our 3.25. Quick update for you all. Here is the redone piece, and you're actually still getting some of those holes in the very center there. I can't get away from that. I think it just is because they did the magic ring for me, which is totally fine. It's not the end of the world. Hopefully this is his butt and not his face. But yeah, I definitely found that switching to the 3.25mm hook helped tighten up all the rest of it. So I'm totally fine with that. I think we're going to just go ahead and keep on crocheting with that and see where we get to. I am almost done the body here. This is what it looks like so far, and I'm really loving the way this yarn looks. Unfortunately, this side that we started with is going to be the face, and it does have some holes, but there is a snout, so I'm hoping that'll cover it up. Now, I'm using the written pattern for this. I'm not using the video tutorial. It's just the way I want to go about it. I did go through some of the video tutorials. Like I said, it's mostly just spliced together from other patterns and things like that, which is fine. But this one has been made specifically for the Ender Dragon, and it's written really well. It's easy to understand. There's lots of explanations and everything. I'm at the part where I get to add the safety eyes, which I'm excited about. One thing I will note though is up until this point, and at no point I believe in the body do they say to stuff it. So right now it's empty, and I thought maybe they were waiting for me to put in the safety eyes because it would be trickier to do if it was stuffed, which I totally understand. Okay, I totally apologize. There is a line that says stuff the piece, shaping it like a block. It's just one line, so it does come after you add the amigurumi eyes. I just happened to miss it. But I just finished off the body pretty much. I have to shape it a little bit into a square, but look how cute those little amigurumi eyes are. Now it is getting kind of later here, and I am going to go make dinner and do some other things. I'll probably work on this overnight on the couch watching some TV or something, and then tomorrow I'll check back in with you with all our pieces, and then we'll assemble it and come back for some final thoughts. Good morning, everyone. I have Wooble updates for you all. I actually just finished last night and a little bit this morning. I mean, it's like 8:30. It's still morning, but I'm all done the crochet portion of the Wooble. So I have all his little, the wing there, or his wings rather, the body. I've already sewed on the nose, and just a bunch of other little parts, horns, some legs, and a bunch of little other extremities. So that part is all done, which means we just have to do assembly, so a little bit of sewing, which with this yarn shouldn't be too much of an issue. I'm sure it'll go by really fast. And there's also just a tiny bit of embroidery. I think there's some like spikes going down the back. So we're going to do that now, and then I'm going to come back for my final thoughts, a little bit of a summary or review, whatever you want to call it. But that's pretty much it for now. I'm going to go assemble our Ender Dragon, and I'll be back in a little bit. Alright everyone, it is finally time. I have our finished Ender Dragon, our little Wooble. I'm so excited to show him to you. I am going to do like a little bit of a review kind of thing, not really, an unofficial my thoughts, I guess. But first, let's take a look at him, just so you can see how cute he is. Here he comes. And how adorable is this little guy with his wings? So cute. I can't wait to put him on my shelf. I'm probably going to put him next to the sniffer there so they can be friends in their little Minecraft world. But this is super adorable. This is just what I had hoped for. I really like him. I think he's really cute. He's just a wee little dragon, and I love him. Now, I'm going to start off with the good, because I have mostly good things to say. I'm going to keep it positive here with a couple negatives, but nothing really too crazy. But we're going to start off positive here. The first thing I want to say is the yarn was really fun. I totally understand why they use this type of yarn. It is easy for beginners. It doesn't thread, which is really nice. It's easy to see your stitches, and for amigurumi, it looks really cute. Those stitches are super defined. So I think this is a win. I also, like I said before, really love the variegation on it because it looks like pixels, which is the whole point of Minecraft, which just adds a little extra level of cuteness to me. Something else I really enjoyed was all the different options of having a written pattern with photos as well as a video tutorial, which was nice. Like I said, the video tutorial is kind of spliced up and it uses different colors. It's not someone showing you exactly how to make your plushie. However, I also understand from a fraud or like from a theft point of perspective why they wouldn't want to just have one long video of making each one. That's really easy to steal. However, they have a written pattern, which is also very easy to steal, so maybe that's not part of it at all. But that's just from my point of view thinking of these things. But I thought overall they did a really good job of explaining things and showing you how to do things, which is great for beginners, obviously. One of the other things going back to the yarn is this yarn is filled with a little bit of polyfill because it's a tube, and the black variegated yarn that you use for most of this actually has a black polyfill in it. And if you've ever made amigurumi before, you know that white polyfill sometimes can poke through. Now, the rest of the body and everything is used making regular polyfill, which is white. It's kind of interesting. I'm like, is there black polyfill out there? Because that'd be kind of great for something like this so that you don't get all those little white things showing through. I don't know if you can see them on here. I've done a pretty good job at hiding them, but if you know, you know. But I just thought that was interesting. I'd never seen anything like that before. It's a nice little detail. One of the other things is all the extra yarn. I actually almost have enough, I feel like, to maybe make another one of these. Now, Part of that might be because I used a smaller crochet hook. I know obviously, like I said, this is for beginners, so they're going to make mistakes. So they obviously give you a lot of extra. So because I didn't have to redo parts or anything, and I used a smaller hook, I think I ended up with like almost half of what I needed to use. So I could probably get away with making another one. And then obviously they don't give you extra amigurumi eyes. However, they do give you some yarn to embroider eyes for children and things because it's a safety issue, obviously. And then the last thing I wanted to say, it was really cute having a little account with a Woobles library, and all the Woobles you buy go to that library, so you get to like collect them all like Pokemon or something, which is a nice touch just to see all your Woobles there if you are someone who is a big fan of them and you can find everything easily. Now real quick, I just want to touch on a few more negative things, I guess, if you will. Like I said, my experience with this was mostly positive. One of the kind of negative things I found was, as someone who used the written pattern, which I think they're tailoring this more to people using the video, I did think that the written portions, some of the steps could have used a little bit more explanation, like how to stuff. It was very vague. It just like at the end it just said stuff the body, which I totally get is more than enough. As an amigurumi designer myself, I kind of tell people when to start stuffing and then continue stuffing. It was just kind of like a note at the end, which was a lot of the cases for like cutting your yarn and things. But in contrast, when I saw the video, there was a lot more explanation there and options to like look further into it. So maybe they're expecting or anticipating the people using the written pattern are a little bit more advanced, which is also a possibility. However, with that said, I did find some missing details. For example, I think it was the horn and maybe the tail just had no photos whatsoever on it. So you just had to kind of go off what they wrote, which they did give you in the instructions, but all the other places at least had one photo. But those two definitely did not have. It was something that jumped out to me where I was like, oh, there's just no photo here, which I get happens, and I'm sure they'll update it. It's not the end of the world. Like I said, there is the written instructions there, so I'm sure you could figure it out. The other negative I wanted to talk about was something I mentioned before, which is the crochet hook. And as adorable as it is, and I can't wait to put it on display, it was not my favorite to use. It's fine. It'll get you through, especially if you're just starting, you don't know what a good crochet hook feels like. It just is a little grabby, I guess is the word. It just doesn't glide through the yarn as nice as I would like to. However, even when I switched to my preferred hook, which is this Addy swing hook, it still felt very grabby onto the yarn. I guess it's just the yarn type in general, which I think for me is just because I have my preferred yarn and hook, which just works perfectly together. So going back to something else just feels weird. It wasn't a problem at all. Obviously, I still made it just fine. It was just something I noticed personally while I was working on this. And then lastly, my biggest negative of all, which will be no surprise to you, and really it comes down to, I don't know if this was worth it for me. I'm not entirely sure. It is really adorable, but it's the price tag for me. Now I ended up getting the potion less, the one without the potion version somehow. I could have swore I ordered the one with the potion, but then looking back, it said I didn't get it. So I don't know how that happened. It must have been a mistake or something. Probably on my part. I'm not blaming them for it. And honestly, it was a happy mistake because it was still $86, almost $90 without the potion. And I think with the potion, it's like an extra $10, $15, which, so... So my thoughts on this are pretty clear. That is really pricey. I understand that you're learning how to crochet with this. However, it's such a small amigurumi item, and that is a really big price tag. And obviously I'm not getting the experience of learning how to crochet. So for me, this was really fun. I really like my amigurumi, but I don't know if personally I can justify it in the future. Although some of those Lord of the Rings ones are really cute, but as someone who could make their own, I'm just like, I don't know. Obviously it's partially to do with the fact that this is a collab and it has the hook and all these different things. So it's a little bit more expensive. They're not all this costly. I understand. I hear you. But just overall, if I was just getting started and I saw the price tag of like almost $100, $90, it would definitely deter me from purchasing this one. Or like I said, they have originals that are much cheaper and things. There are definitely other options. You don't have to go for this one. I think this was the most expensive one, but I just wanted to bring it up because it is part of the overall experience. But that is it for our little Ender Dragon Woobles crochet along review. Thank you so much for joining me on this video. Definitely leave a comment down below. Have you tried Woobles before? What did you think? What was your personal take on it? What do you think of our little Ender Dragon? He needs a name, so also leave a comment down below. I think he looks like a Marvin, maybe. I don't know. Tell me your names down below and we will pick one. But thank you all so much for watching. I will see you in the next one. And until then, stay naughty, friends. Bye. And they had already made, I think, like 5 million in their first or second year. It's what inside I can speak, right? We have a crochet, and honestly, it was a happy ow.